Hello and welcome to Cinemando with Kathy and Melanie. And you can find Melanie at Pardaisy. Yep. Is it Pardaisy Reviews?
Pardaisy Reviews, yep.
And then Pardaisy YT on Twitter.
Yeah.
Right? Okay.
Yeah, for YouTube.
So definitely check out our channel. We're doing stuff on both of our channels. You'll find us on both of our channels. We are doing reviews together because it's super fun and she knows everything. So I'm learning a lot.
But it's also super fun for me to revisit some older films. For instance, recently we just recorded talking about Vijay Sethupathiy's film Pizza, directed by Kartik Subaraj, which was super fun. All
right, so Dahaad is a new series that just came out on Amazon Prime. It's a Hindi series. It's kind of a mystery crime thriller, which I love those. So good. Yeah. It has a pretty stacked sort of pedigree here. Why don't you tell us about that?
So this is a series created by Zoya Akhtar and Reema Kagti, and it's directed by Reema Kagti. And then one of the producers is, of course, Farhan Akhtar, Zoya Akhtar's brother. So it's a Prime series. And on my channel, we talked about Zoya Akhtar's and Reema Kagti's film Dil De Dakne Do, and how they like to highlight women and the perspective of women directors, women writers, women creators, giving a different perspective on women. And so the exciting thing about this is that it is a cop, some sort of cop web series, but the lead cop, the lead actress is Sonakshi Sinha. So, and she has done, I was just telling Kathy, who's not as familiar, she's done everything from bubbly roles to action kind of roles. And I really admire her as an actress. And so I'm thrilled for her that she got to be a lead in a series like this. So there's only 8 episodes. I'm not sure if I've seen this trailer, but anyway, the series is out now in the US. It's out on Amazon Prime Video.
This is something, once you see this, you can immediately go and watch it, which is rare. so I love that, especially because it's new and it's out there. It's fresh. It's got a great female lead. It's like,
the cool thing is the title, Dahaad, means it's supposed to be the sound that a lion makes. So a roar, like the roar of a lion.
Oh, so. I love that. Right.
Thank you, Wikipedia, because otherwise I would have no idea. Kathy's like, oh my God, Melanie knows everything. Gosh, no, I have Wikipedia smart. Right here.
It's called Roar, but no rise, no revolt. No, none of that. It's just
right, exactly.
So this should be pretty interesting. And again, like I'm predisposed to like crime dramas because they're just so good. And India does such great ones. I mean, I've loved the Delhi crime series that's been on there. It's been 2 seasons, I think. Just both so good. Grim. I mean, hardcore. I don't know if you've seen those, but the Delhi crime stuff is good.
Sometimes in movies, I feel like cop movies can almost be like an Indian cop is sort of their answer to a superhero, if you understand what I mean. It's sort of, I can almost do superhuman things and is so. Yeah, I mean, and so this title Roar also, there was a whole, there's been definitely cop movies based on the kind of lion sound and whatever.
Okay. That's funny.
Maybe a little bit of a nod to all of that too.
That's true. And I feel like they're either superheroes or super villains. Like I've seen super bad cops in these things. Like, beyond. Like, it's just so.
Yeah.
So I'm interested in seeing what side of the fence she falls on in this.
Okay.
All right, let's take a look at it. Here we go.
कृष्णा हमारी बहन।
कृष्णा की उम्र क्या है?
28 साल। अब कहाँ है तुम्हारी बहन?
आप पता है 6 महीनों से। सर इस छोरी का केस और कृष्णा का केस डिट्टो एक जैसा लग रहा है।
5 नंबर और मिले हैं जिनमें सेम पैटर्न। सारे के सारे नंबर छोरियों के नाम।
सारी छोरियों के गायब होने के हालात एक जैसे, लाइफ में आदमी एक जैसा और दो दहेज की कहानी एक जैसी।
Oh wow!
उन्हें तो किसी राक्षस का अवतार लगे।
सुसाइड केस 2 महीने हो गए यहाँ पड़े, अभी तक कोई नहीं आया पूछने।
सर जिस आदमी ने इन छोरियों को भगाया है, उसी ने इनको जहर खाने को राजी किया है।
तुम्हारा मतलब है कि ये सब अकेले एक आदमी का काम है?
हमें कभी भी बुरे कर्म नहीं करना चाहिए।
भगवान सब देख रहा है।
सर प्रोफाइल तो फिट बैठ रही है। उम्र 35 से 40 साल के बीच, शादीशुदा आदमी, एक बच्चे का बाप।
ये प्रोफाइल तो मेरे पे भी फिट बैठती है।
हमारे को तो ये आनंद पे रत्ती भर विश्वास ना है।
पर भैया कोई शक करने की वजह तो हो। कॉलेज में प्रोफेसर, घर परिवार वाला आदमी, 4 ढंग की बात सिखावे।
तो क्या भारत रत्न दे दे उसको?
कबूल कर लो कि आपने का मर्डर तूने किया है। मैं भगवान रिश्वत खाता हूँ, पेड़ में से किसी को नहीं जानता।
प्लीज पुलिस को मत बताना। जो कुछ छुपा रही है ना, भला नहीं होगा। सीधे सीधे बताती है, आउट है फोन।
हो गया?
अभी तो शुरू हुआ है।
लेडी सिंघम,
चुप भूतनी क्या ग्रेप्तार मारूंगी, लौटता फिरेगा, भाग यहाँ से।
Smile. Smile.
That smile on her face was so good. It was like, first of all, no woman likes to be told to smile by a man.
No.
Don't do it. Just don't. And especially if you're a serial killer, just don't.
Especially if you're a serial killer.
The minute you say that, it was not good. So what I loved about this is it was super hardcore, but they also had a little teeny tiny bit of humor in there because the sexism part is still alive and well, even though the female cops are super badass. I loved the shut up, low life, dude. So funny.
Yeah.
I don't know why that made me laugh. It was just so good. Because
No,
that's
it
what
was,
they're
it
dealing
was,
with.
I mean, it was a good, like, getting to show that she's not going to put up with any, you know, I can
Even
use a
from
bad
some
word on your
stupid-
channel, but she's not going to put up with any crap, right?
That's right. We allow
And they
profanity on
established
this channel.
that. And yeah, I mean, but shows that even a woman who has a uniform and is in a position of power is not
Still not respected.
is not free from having to deal with this kind of harassment.
Right.
Right.
So when you think about it, she's going to try twice as hard, not only to solve crimes, but to punish the criminals. So do not fuck with a woman cop. That's not a good idea.
Okay, here I am.
Don't do it. Profanity is fully allowed here, regardless if YouTube likes it or not.
So yeah, I mean, I liked the slow setup. We're like, okay, one missing girl,
That
two
was
missing
great. It's
girl,
like,
and
oh,
suddenly the ticking thing, and it gets up to whatever it was, 23 or 24,
my
and we're
God.
like, whoa.
And then they're kind of going, one guy's doing this? Like one guy? Unbelievable. And then there was also the great casting. So who's the actor playing the what I'm assuming they're set up? They kind of give it away. I guess it's not a big secret in the trailer who the real killer is. He looked really familiar to me, but he looks super
I'm not
unassuming.
sure.
The guy they're accusing saying,
He
"You're saying
changed
I did
my
this?" And he has like the full head of hair and the mustache and everything. He's clearly not the killer because he's way too obvious and masculine and looks like he'd be a killer. So the other guy looks like kind of like, I'm just a professor at a school. I'm a kind of big old wimp. Like you can, and the guy at the end who's telling her to smile, he just doesn't look dangerous, like overtly dangerous. So cops are probably just overlooking, like this guy wouldn't kill anybody. We gotta find someone more obvious. This guy. So I love that idea of the super under the radar kind of killer who no one will suspect. He's a respected job. He's just wants to find someone to marry. And so
Well, I love when they are talking about the profiling, though.
Yes,
He fits the profile. He's between 35 and 40, and he is married with a kid. Like
that was interesting.
Okay, so in the U.S., that definitely would not be a typical profile of a serial killer.
No,
right?
No. Well, the kid was an interesting add-on because they sometimes can distinguish a serial killer being married because of a certain pattern of behavior, like hiding it from the wife. So there's like somehow they can manage that.
I don't want to say that we've never had married serial killers
there's been plenty,
in that family. Definitely there are. I'm just saying, especially like in a Hollywood kind of a setting, it's more typically that loner single guy.
Lone wolf killer who's just creeping around in his dungeon, devising creepy torture devices and being gross.
Right.
You know? And
at
even
least,
like,
that's the way it's normally set up. So this, right away, I'm kind of taken aback. Like, whoa, this is somebody that really could be living a double, triple life or something, right? Like really doubly hard for the police to find this person if they are camouflaged by this respectable life.
See, that what you said is exactly right. A lot of the serial killers will be married fully as a shield, just as like they won't suspect me if I'm a married guy with a normal life. Like then no one is going to. So a lot of them will use a woman as, you know, his partner to just sort of be a camouflage, like you said, like a shield. So that's kind of interesting because he looks like a respectable married guy with a kid. No, it's no serial killer here. You can move on to the guy who's a single guy, like you said, single wolf.
Right.
Who's out there looking suspicious, which apparently they had a suspect in mind because he was there getting grilled by the police. They had some great cinematography. Looks
yes, there were some of those shots of like people in doorways or in shadow.
Yes.
Really, yeah. I mean, they were really brief, but I'm like, wow, you know,
beautifully
those are
shot.
really nice, really nice
great
shots.
drone shots, like the really epic. So you could kind of see like how it's really out in the middle of nowhere. Like there's like a lot of scopic photography that I thought was really nice. So it's not in like the big city, you know. It's almost I wonder if they're looking for bodies, but you then think, oh, girls disappearing, going maybe from small town to small town, or is he? Because you wouldn't be putting these pieces together, or are you just disposing of the bodies out in the middle of nowhere? It's hard to tell what was happening there, but
yeah. I mean, I'm not sure. Maybe people who know more about this series or have read about it can know. Is it set in a? I'm wondering if those scenes are showing us kind of the desert kind of, you know, when we see cars or trucks driving on this desert kind of roads. Is it supposed to be set in Rajasthan? I'm wondering if it's supposed to be kind of an area known for honor killings.
Oh, yeah, there you go.
And so is that an added sort of red herring that people suspect families of doing this when it's really some outside forces? You know what I'm saying? Like if that can cloud it, or if that is a part of it. I don't know.
It's supposed to be loosely based. I've not heard of this person. Cyanide Killer. Cyanide. What's his name? Cyanide Mohan. Apparently, it was a serial killer who would be looking for someone to marry, and he poisoned them with cyanide. That was kind of so loosely based. I don't think it's necessarily verbatim, but they say loosely based, which is a great idea because, you know, that would be really scary. And women, like you said, the dowry idea that maybe, you know, he comes across as someone you need to marry because, you know, you need a good partner, and then all these poor women are being siphoned off.
Right, and the families give the dowry money, and so then it's a double thing. Like he's getting the money and moving on to the next one.
Yep, and then he just disappears. Wow. Like there he goes. So yeah, it looks really grim, but really good.
I absolutely love. It's not that we've never seen in Indian cinema or series. You know, a lady cop character, because we have, but it's definitely not the everyday. Okay. So away. And I love Sonakshi Sinha is someone that I, you know, have admired as an actress for a long time. She's done lighter work. She's done, like I said, she's done some incredible action films. So I'm really excited for her getting to have a series like this, a prestige series. And also I think while I love, you know, crime movies, there's something about having like this as 8 episodes where you can really develop the mystery over time, right? And not rush things and really, you know, and, you know, each episode probably can have an impact and then build on the mystery. And now we know this and we're going this direction, you know, so, and I think 8 episodes is a good, you know, that's a good amount. It's not like, you know, not like those K-dramas with 20 episodes.
Oh my God. I know. I remember when you told me, oh, watch the Senso. It's great. And I'm like, well, I'm at episode 8. I guess I'm almost done. It's almost episode 10. And then I looked and went, I'm not even halfway there. So yeah, this will be an easy, like, I love series. Like to me, movies seem too short now.
Especially also, crime and mystery. Yes. It lends itself so much better to episodes.
Slow burn. The intricate plotting, and also it takes a long time to kill 23 women. So we're going to need 8 episodes of 20 killings.
Right. Right. I mean, we're going to need that. Oh, we almost got him. And now, you know, I mean,
the wrong guy. Oh no.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, we went down this wrong alley. Yeah. So it just works. My mysteries just lend themselves so well. And you're propelled to watch all the way to the end because you got to know, did they get the guy? Did they find the real killer? Did they, you know, whatever. So like you're propelled. It already has this built-in tension to it that you want to watch watch all the way to the end.
And this looks action packed, really. I mean, it's got the slow dark burn, but it also looks like it's got some action and some. So
Absolutely.
I also loved the graphics in the trailer. I thought they were really nice, and it's kind of based
I
on.
don't even notice stuff like that. That's exactly what catches your eye. No, but I do. I do love this.
They had that silhouette throughout the thing, saying this is what they were showing. One girl, one murder, 2, 3, and they were counting it down over this kind of a wedding veil. So you're kind of getting the iconic.
I think it's not necessarily it's not necessarily a women. Women, I think, in some of the northern states would always wear a headscarf like this, and so I think that is what is supposed to symbolize to us, like I said, in the state of Rajasthan. So it's not necessarily a wedding; it's just showing a young woman. And I think that's kind of a signal to us of place.
That's smart. Yeah.
That this is not happening in Kerala, right? Like that. And we kind of see, I think also just the gray and like the scenes we're seeing kind of in the shadows around the title mayor showing like dusty sands. Like this is the desert.
True. Yeah. And we see some
that's kind of what that evokes to me. Although it's sort of that grayish, it's not like sand. It's not like brown sand. It's more.
It's kind of, it almost looks, in a weird way, it almost looks tropical, except that we know that this is scrubby. You can kind of see the scrubby, deserty, but you still have a few palm trees.
Oh, yeah, the palm trees.
Yeah, kind of interesting. Oh, yeah, it's interesting. And then we have a figure in the middle. Like, I guess I'm reading this as like some sort of wedding thing because I was thinking he's trying to find people to marry. So maybe I'm projecting that it would be.
Well, I mean, it could be, but not necessarily. Right. So
we have the one guy's eyes. I guess he's deep, and everyone looking over their shoulder. It looks like it's a special shoot because this is really well lit. So it looks like I always appreciate when they get a real shoot with people because sometimes people don't bother, and then they're dealing with some episodic photography, and that's not always good. So it looks like.
No, but I like the way Sonakshi is framed and that she's kind of giving the side eye to everybody else. Like she
does not trust any of these guys.
Right. She has this look like I'm checking you guys out and I'm judging you. Right. Like it's a very
I'm not afraid. Yep. Not afraid.
Yeah. There's no fear. I'm judging you and I'm figuring you out.
That's right.
I like the what they've chosen for her.
Yeah. It's really nice. Then we have just the full star cell for her, and you got the victims' photos, projected over her.
Yeah. It's like it's always the wall, right? Yeah, projected on the wall in the police station. Yeah,
this is classic.
But I like the way she's posed. Again, it's the I'm thinking hard about this. I'm figuring this out. I'm going to figure this out.
I'm going to get him. I'm going to get this guy. He's really sorry.
But I know, but I just like it's like she has these. I'm not going to say manly, but I'm just saying they're showing her with those kind of broad shoulders, right? Like I'm shouldering this responsibility for this case.
Yeah,
right? That's kind of what that's what the image gives me.
Yeah, and you got the watch on the hand, like it's all with the sort of masculine attributes on this woman. She's having this, that's the uniform and that's the projection that she's casting. So it's really, really nice marketing, good trailer. I'm sold.
Right. And the Prestige. Yeah, I mean it's Prestige, Amazon Prime. Yeah, I don't know how long this was in in creation, but like I said, I mean Zoya Akhtar also has the Archie series, which is coming on Netflix, but she has played both. She's done other series that have been on Amazon. Oh, no, I'm blanking on it. Everybody's going to be like, Melanie, how can you forget? But there was a whole one about Wedding Planner that she did that was exceptional, and that was on Amazon Prime. Oh, okay. And it was about two friends who were wedding planners. It was a woman, and then the guy was gay, and so it really delved into his life and really showed the discrimination that he dealt with on a daily basis. But it was sort of neat in that each episode was about a different wedding. Their through line story continued, but each episode gave you an insight into a different kind of, whether it be over the top wedding or something simple, or a widow getting married and what her family thought about that or whatever. So anyway, it was excellent. I'm blanking on it. But anyway, yeah. But anyway,
I'll
so
throw up the poster if I can find it.
yeah, but Zoya Akhtar, just highly recommend that, and Reema Kagti, who her partner, who, like I said, but they're creative partners together on all of these things. Cool. And I'm sure, it's a group thing, but Reema is listed as the director on this, but I think they obviously both created this concept together, and it's exciting. So
very, very cool. I love seeing more women in Indian cinema doing this. They're making series. They're kicking ass, and they're not just doing all the relationship stuff. They're doing some hardcore crime, and this one looks pretty bad.
Yeah,
I mean, pretty bad in a good way.
Absolutely.
So, let us know what you guys think of this. If you have any other Indian series you want us to look at,
and if anybody has started to watch it, let us know. How is it? Is it good? You know, are you enjoying it? So
is it scary? I want to know. I want to watch it if it's scary.
We know Kathy. She's all about the goosebumps.
I love goosebumps. Give me the horror. Yeah, bring it on. Tell me some more crime series to watch. I'm all for it.
I mean, I'm just wondering also if it, because they have censors for movies, and I'm wondering if the fact that it's on Amazon, were they allowed to show maybe things being a little bit more grisly with some of these murders? That's something that I'd be interested in. Were they allowed more creative freedom?
That's
and
true.
Talking about some of these things or showing some things that maybe they would have been harder to do in a film.
And that's interesting you say that, because we have the MPAA in America, as you know, and they monitor movies for ratings, depending on the level of gore or sexuality or whatever.
Right.
And when you do the streaming, they're kind of left out of the loop on this one. So streaming's getting away with a lot more of this stuff, which I'm all for, because I think the MPAA is kind of bullshit. But that's mostly just for marketing. They want to make sure the posters aren't offensive, like showing a gun or something in an aggressive way, things like that. But also they want people to know for their families, if kids can see this movie, which I think is kind of obvious if you look at the trailer, if your kids should see this movie.
Okay, I lived through the era of Temple of Doom, which is the entire reason why we have PG-13.
That's right.
Okay, so like it used to be there was only PG, and then there was R, and of course G, right? And the entire reason that we have PG-13 is because he reached into the chest and pulls out the heart, and all these families with young children are like, what?
And the kids are like, and I think the parents are more horrified than the kids. The kids are like, what just happened? It was I remember all that hoopla about that. They were like, what? Because it's basically a PG film.
So, and the Indian film star is the entire reason why there is a PG-13 in Hollywood.
So funny. I love that. I know. And remember when it was just M? They used to have just mature audiences. Then we started going to R. Then we had the unrated, and now we have the PG-13. I mean, see, they're just making shit up as they go along.
I mean, even you see all the different things that they list for TV things. It's like it may have gore, may have like it's like this whole laundry list now. That's may have nudity, may have drug use, may have drinking, may have this, and then but then when we see an Indian film in the theater, they'll have those little things. If somebody is drinking or somebody is smoking, it'll have the little warning, on the screen as it's happening.
I know they'll say, like, you'll have a guy smoking, like, don't smoke. It's like, okay, that's not distracting at all. I do appreciate they put that in there, because I'm totally anti-smoking. Like, I've never smoked in my life.
I know, but have you seen any of the classic movies that have the really strong anti-smoking things?
Yes. Oh my God. They're hardcore. Like, they're showing stuff at the beginning that's just like, wow, this is like way more disturbing than anything in this movie. God. They need to rate this ad. I know. But like streaming and streaming is trying to self police. So that's why they're starting to do all that listing. They don't want the MPAA getting involved. They don't want this panel of unknown people which are appointed. This is not an official thing that we need. It's not government sanctioned. This is all just kind of a made up system because we want to be able to get away with it, basically. So TV and streaming are trying to list these in lieu of ever having to put anything in front of the MPAA.
There's very strict rules for things that go on broadcast free TV.
Yeah.
But then once cable came into the mix and then all these streaming channels, exactly. HBO. And Cinemax, which when we were teens we called Skinemax,
Yes. That was the sexy HBO.
But all of these things, and it is kind of this it's I don't have young children, but I'm sure it's hard for parents of young, like if you allow your child access to Netflix or Amazon,
Yeah.
it's everything, right? Like it's everything from really scary movies to, I guess Disney is all silent on Disney.
That's
but
true.
even
You're
so,
pretty
you know
safe
what I mean?
there. Yeah.
Pretty safe there, which is probably why a lot of families subscribe, because they kind of know, all right.
Like, don't have to worry if he gets on here without me and to pick something out. Yeah.
Although Guardians of the Galaxy 3 was pretty hardcore. So
was it?
As far as it's about animal cruelty.
Oh yeah, the raccoon. I don't know if I can watch this.
Kathy, that's her tender spot. Like you may have, like, it's all about his backstory and how he was experimented on, and all his little friends that have like mechanical legs and stuff, because it goes pretty. I mean, kudos to them though, because it was a good story and a good way. You always wanted to know, why did he deny that he was a raccoon? Why did he?
Yeah.
How did he get that way, right? Yeah. And so to be a talking raccoon, and so they really dive deep into it.
Oh, that's
anyway.
So
but it's I think Indian censor board can be quite strict on some things, and streaming has allowed Indian filmmakers, Indian content creators, more freedom in a lot of ways, and to be able to delve into maybe more serious subject matter. So we don't know what all is going to be discussed, because you have a crime show, you can really be discussing a societal and misogyny, as you pointed out, and other things, and really shining a light on certain issues that women face. Yeah. And, and it gives them more creative freedom to be able to really dive deep into that maybe might be harder to do in films. So
exactly. Yeah. So we're seeing, like you said, kind of more of a renaissance of filmmakers being able, not only they need people to do this stuff. So a lot of people are given a chance, like fledgling filmmakers are getting a shot at streaming and filmmaking, because there's such an appetite for it. So, and then also I just feel like people should police their own entertainment. I don't like being told by the government or MPAA, whoever they are, or anyone, what I need to watch or not watch. It's like, I want to watch.
It's so literally a PG-13 can have one F word. Like why one F word versus 3? Like it's just so, it sometimes feels extremely arbitrary.
And there are no rules. And the MPAA will give a filmmaker a rating and not tell them why. So the filmmaker has to go in there and go, what am I supposed to cut? So they have to imagine what was offending.
Oh, right. So well, and I've certainly heard of filmmakers putting in all of sorts of stuff that they know that they'll have to take out, just so that they can keep the stuff that they actually want, and that the MPAA will feel like, oh, well, we had to tell them to cut all this stuff, and they're like, I put that in there just so you would cut it.
If you want to look into the inner workings as much as they can into the MPAA, which is really eye-opening. There's a film made by a friend of mine, Kirby Dick. It's called "This Film Is Not Yet Rated."
Yes, amazing film.
Oh, so necessary, because you're like, who gave these people this power in this job? Like it literally, they just kind of made it up and people decide to do it. What the hell? And we don't know who's in there. We don't know the standard. We don't know who's the one rating it. It's all invisible and not transparent at all. And it's just, it's a little spooky. But.
I mean, another factor with this series coming on Amazon, people in India may not know that there's a writer's strike going on right now in Hollywood. And so that is affecting all sorts of television. So for instance, our regular late night comedy television shows like Jimmy Fallon and so forth. Yeah. They're dark. Saturday Night Live is dark right now. Now we had a similar strike happen. I don't know, it's over 15 years ago. I don't remember the exact year, but there's a reason why the second season of Heroes suck. I'm just saying.
Exactly.
But that's what is happening right now, that there's all sorts of movie productions and TV productions are shut down right now. So I'm wondering if these streaming platforms are going to look even more towards international content like this, because
good point.
and also viewers. I mean, there's a glut right now. There's still tons, but we're going to see that the pipeline has, I don't know how long this writer's strike is going to go on. It went on for quite a long time, like I said, 15 years ago, right? Yeah. So hopefully this one will be resolved quicker, but streaming is a part of it in that writers are not getting the residuals that they did from broadcast TV
right
to live on. And so they need to, streaming has upended everything so much that there need to be new ground rules but streaming, on the other hand, they have this power of, if we don't like what you're giving us, we can go to India, we can go to Korea, we can go to Sweden, whatever, and we can get content from other places.
Exactly.
So it is a different kind of marketplace now.
Very different. And all the corporate hacks are still working at these streaming services, want content. So they're just going to start looking around because they're still got their jobs. They're still working. So they need to give themselves something to do. So they need to work on this. And, they just pay the writers. They deserve it. Just pay them.
Deserve it. And pay them residuals so they get.
I mean, come on. I mean, I know the streaming bubble kind of popped a little bit, but still, they're making so much money. And the creative is where it's at. You just got to do it. So paying creative people so you're getting good writing is so essential. And you can see the difference when you see things like Succession, such good writing, like God. And then you see other shows that are just awful. And you're like, please don't do more of those. Do more stuff like Succession. We need to pay the good writers so that they can make a living. We need that.
Yeah.
It's not unreasonable. So
right
there. Our rant.
I love the writers' strike that somebody was like, give us fair wages or we'll spoil Succession.
Yeah, that was really funny. The thing is, they have all these great strike signs because they're writers. So of course they're writing all these great signs. So good.
All right. Thanks for Kathy for showing this one to me. I'm excited about watching this series now.
Me too. Maybe we'll review it.
Maybe we will.
Okay. Let us know if you want us to review it in the comments. Let us know if you've seen it and review it for us. We're going to go either way. And we'll talk to you guys next time. Bye.
Bye.